Here's Joe again, and welcome back to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, where we still have a lot of paths to go. That directly leads us back to
all of his co-workers were gone.
the heaven.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Will at one point the other doors open is the question. I mean, these all do nothing. Oh, new content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Not new content, new content. Let's see. We on trails here?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
The trail continues that way. What will it be?
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content.
Okay.
I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
It will fail. The elevator like halfway through and we're stuck.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
New
All
content,
right.
the jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Jump! Can only jump in the circle. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's out. Yay, jumping.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Yeah, there has to be something else. Was good. Could have needed a jump button a few times.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's
Yes.
just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fanbase rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
And from now on, we'll get new content everywhere. Yep, that definitely looks different. I hate Mondays. Yeah, that's how it looked once.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Could also go that way. Okay, let's go through the vent. Can't even stand up here. Okay. Through the vent.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Think Dark Souls? No, or what? Nah.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
The Stanley Parable 2013.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
The British Academy of Film and Television Arts? I think that's not what they got, but they got this one. Some audience award. The greatest wealth is memory, indeed. Can't open that. The Stanley Parable, buy on Steam. Aha. Linguists identify 15,000-year-old ultra-conserved words. Okay. 6 components of a great corporate culture. Why? Also, they're using Firefox like I do. The original remake. Uh-huh. Trip down memory line. Smile because it happened. The official soundtrack. Uh-huh. The first dollar bill they earned with it. The demo. The demo was so good. Maybe I'm playing the demo tomorrow. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. Unachievable. It's impossible to get this achievement. Yeah, all their achievements are like jokes. Nominee, British Academy Award. Stanley Parable D's rough choices. Oh, and that ending. I like that ending where I died. In loving memory of little Stanley, the pig.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now, a lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Can't go to the maintenance, okay. Oh, those buttons. Person of the Year. Stanley. That's some screenshot from game development. The end is never the end. Some stuff. Car for no reason. There was a Stanley Parable tie. I would have loved to have that. Your number is 29. Uh-huh.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
People play games because of what they can do inside them, and your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. They're just on rails. Can't jump here. The Serious Room 2013. Okay, back here.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Oh.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Not recommended.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Okay, Steam reviews without end. So can we stop the meta stuff, please, at any point and just continue back to the game? I mean, it's a game.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. To be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Okay.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Skip button.
And here it is. Go ahead and give... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
Look at this.
Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
That's what people do. If there's a skip button, they skip everything.
Hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us.
Oh, skip that. Oh god, what a horrible noise.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their...
Sweet silence. Can we please skip the game and come to the ending, please? I would laugh if I press the button and we are like halfway through the credits rolling.
Is never the end, 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 is...
I love the skip button. Nothing. The problem is the wait for the skip button. Whoa. That's cool. I think apocalypse has struck in the meantime. Ah. Now it's daylight. Feels way better now. What happened to the narrator? Oh. That's cool. Someone's playing music though. What happened to the plants? This is a horror game now. No. Let's skip out of the horror game. Okay, we are more horror-y now. Ah, that's cool. I love it. Death Stranding? Does the button not work? Okay, the button does not work. We're actually supposed to wander out. Okay. Want to try to get on top of the building. Aha. We can't. Because of stupid hitboxes. Okay. Yeah, we're fine. This isn't fun gameplay. There's only desert. Let me skip this. Thought so. Okay. What is if we do this again for a second time? Are we back to the heaven? Yes, we are. Okay. Yeah, the doors work.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Okay. New content is here. Want to go back into new content? Yes, let's go back into new content.
You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
It's different now, I think. Or is it the same? Don't want to go through this. Ah, okay. We're skipping right to the elevator. So he's probably showing me that the elevator leads other places. The interesting thing is I don't want to go through the vent this time.
I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
The end is never the end again.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Yes.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Okay. They're back. 2 doors. New content is out. New content is in. Old and busted. New hotness. Boring sections of the shard. Cool red section of the shard. They're back. 2 doors. More Stanley Parable. Better Stanley Parable. Win-win. Sequential mindshare. Paradigm shift. Synergy. Brick and mortar approach. The color is red. Leverage holistic value. The Stanley Parable 2. Okay, different designs for the 2. I don't like that. That looks like a pause button, the number 2. 5 is... Thanks for attending my meeting. Stanley Parable 2. That is so good. That looks like an actual image for the Stanley Parable 2 when they were drafting it.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Who took the red marker? Me. Oh, the prequel to Stanley Parable 2 is the sequel to the Stanley Parable is the prequel to Stanley Parable 2. is the sequel to the Stanley Parable. Aha. This way to the show floor. Okay. No choices yet. New content. New features. Can we take the bus? Can't take the bus. Okay, we need... I hate these chains for waiting at airports. Like, usually, whenever I did fly from an airport, I was flying like an early flight and the airport was just basically empty. And you had to like crisscross those stupid lines, but nobody was waiting there. It just took an eternity.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Reassurance bucket. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Hear your name in the game. Enjoy the new features. Please no screenshots. A whole new office. Red is the new orange. The new updated ray traced, more of the same but in a good way sequel. New features, new content, new ideas. The button that says the name of the player. Jump circle. Infinite hole. Free new and easy achievement, get it here. Merch. They're back, $2. I saw the new content. The end is never the end again. This t-shirt is the best new feature. Would we go to the new achievement area? This is a question mark room? Office decoration and... So I want the new achievement. Let's get the new achievement. Collectibles. There's an exit. Expo Hall 2 guide. Jump cycle this map. Free achievement queue. Yeah. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. I'm super excited for that. Settings World Champion. Okay, we're looking at the Settings World Champion also soon enough. Stanley Parable Reassurance bucket. It's B squared. Office decorations in number 3. Epilogues. Over there. Collectibles in A9. Infinite hole K and E is exit. Let's go to the free achievement. I can't believe it's that simple. Let's get it here. Free achievement. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works. Get yours right now.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Aww, no achievement. Great. Just a disappointment. Then next up I want to try the reassurance bucket. That sounded super fun.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Okay, the jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait.
It's broken.
You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Oh. Okay, then back to... Oh, I want to hear my name. I want to hear my name. I want to hear my name. Hear your name in the game. Work in progress, probably.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button, which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Okay, that's buttons. Different button sizes here experimented with. Name, everybody's got one. Yes, indeed. Can't read that. Try it here. Okay, let's try it.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name
Yes,
that
of
is.
course.
Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to
The name's
imagine
Joe.
yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Yes.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a
works.
rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Oh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Okay. That's the Jim button. There's so much other stuff and new content. We're gonna go there.
I suppose I could
definitely.
allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley
Yeah,
Parable
that's
2.
it.
That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Let's go to the reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Yes,
The benefits
bucket.
of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay, let's take the bucket with us.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
That's actually enjoyable the way it wiggles with. This goes.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go
Stepneys.
with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
Okay. Balloons.
Or actually,
Great.
maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
What's that way? Wait. That's towards exit. That's collectibles. Wait a sec. We're here. Down there is the infinite hole. We'll definitely try that, but I don't want to accidentally go through the exit. Epilogues. Button that says the name. There's the merch. Settings word champion is over there. What does that mean here? Settings word champion. It's supposed to be here. Yeah, I know there's an achievement for changing every second setting at least once, I think. Or having everything turned on or something like that. Okay. That's that. Epilogue collectibles. We still have a lot to discover. And this is just the lower level. What's F? Over there, there's F. That's how we entered, yes? Yeah, that's how we entered. Okay. So, we're gonna continue exploring the Stanley Parable 2 Expo in the next episode. Have a nice day and see you tomorrow.